Alright guys, welcome to the video. So today we're going to be going ahead and doing some maintenance on the GT500. So behind me is obviously my car, and since I've owned it for about 4 or 5 months now. I have some fun with it, but I think the rear diff fluid needs to be changed. We get a little bit of a whine back there, and also I'm going to show you in a minute, there's a little bit of what possible leakage. I don't know. I know it has an aftermarket rear end as well as a 373 gears, so it has been opened up in the past, but I'm not sure what kind of seal they used, and I want to make sure that the fluid's where it's supposed to be at. And then let's go ahead and take a look underneath. There's also a few other little things that I want to point out. Alright, so we're underneath the car. I don't know if you can tell, but see how there's like some seepage out of this bolt and a little bit of stuff here. Now again, I don't know what's necessarily been done, but I want to make sure everything's sealed properly. And you can see over there, like that doesn't look like it's coming from anything necessarily. Maybe the breather up there, possibly. I'm not 100% sure, but I just want to make sure it's good to go. Then also, I've been chasing down an exhaust rattle for the longest time, as you can see right here. That's where it's hit. And if you look at this exhaust hanger, it's actually not in its hole. It's supposed to be up here. On a quick side note, check out all this burnt rubber up in here. From a previous owner, drag raced it quite a bit. You can see there's a lot of little bit of burnout rubber up in here, all up in there and everything. But anyway, so I already have a video that I'm going to link on how to do the rear diff on a 2007 Mustang. This also has the 8.8 diff, so it's the exact same process. I'll go ahead and throw a link in right now so you guys don't have to see that. But we're also going to be doing the transmission on the Tr6060 way up front there. As you can see, this car has an aluminum drive shaft, and then the back end, your adjustable panhard bar, adjustable upper control arm, BMR lower control arms with your relocation bracket, as well as, let's see, I believe these shocks are aftermarket. They say something on the side, I don't remember at the moment. But yeah guys, so this car has seen some good stuff. It's also got BMR Sportline springs in there. And I'm really happy that this is bolt-on, because everything else in this exhaust has been welded all the way back. So now there's something with some bolts, I can actually adjust some stuff, so I'm happy about that. Alright guys, I'm going to go ahead and start on this diff, and then once that's finished, I'll pick you back up with you, and when it's opened up, we'll see what it looks like, as well as the tranny. So without further ado, AMSOIL for the win. Well, about 5 minutes into it, ran into my first issues. I got all the bolts off, but I cannot get this cover off with this panhard bar in the way. I'm not sure. In my old car, I was able to get it off without any problem. I took it up and went up to the side, and it came right off. This one, not so much. So I'm over here taking off the panhard bar, and then I'm going to drop the panhard bar, and that should allow me to do it. I can't really get a socket in here because of this sway bar link, and I really don't want to take the sway bar link off because it's kind of a pain in the butt. You see it goes forward, not backwards necessarily, so that means I'd have to drop the panhard bar or the sway bar, and that's just a whole bunch of crap I don't want to deal with. So we're going to go ahead and take this off and continue on this. Although I will say the diff fluid looked pretty good, and allegedly there's a built diff back here as well as aftermarket axles and the 373s, as I was saying, so I'm really excited to see what that looks like. Alright, well, I had to take off the freaking lower control or lower sway bar. Damn it. Alright, well, I had to take off the sway bar anyway because the bolt that came out of there was just bumping into it. So now sway bar link, and my panhard bar is finally down and I released the diff cover. Check this monster out in there, guys. So I'm going to put the name of this on the screen because I can't remember exactly what it is off the top of my head, but that is one monster diff. I'll do a quick throwback what my old one looked like, but it did not look like that, I'll tell you that right now. So I think she's good to go, guys. But I'm going to go ahead and finish this up real quick. As you can see, oops, that's the gasket that came out. I hate rubber gaskets because any kind of like deformities in the metal, like especially right here, there's a little bit of bumps and stuff. It's not like perfectly a machine smooth face. The rubber or paper gasket, depending on what you use, will not make a proper seal, especially right here. There's like a divot and then there's a bolt hole right there. That kind of stuff will let fluid leak out. So looks fine. I just want to make sure. And yeah guys, I'm gonna go ahead and throw in, or rather clean up this diff cover, and then go ahead and start refilling, or get the new gasket laid. That's what I'm gonna do next, get the new gasket laid. Alright, so while I was waiting, I went ahead and hit it with the wire wheel, and then went ahead and give it a nice Rust-Oleum black, just because I didn't hate the look of rust on my car, and I think it looks a lot better like that. And on the inside, as you can see, it's pretty much all cleaned up. There's some marring in here, and it looks like kind of marring all throughout here. But the magnet was, I just cleaned it up. It had a little bit of buildup on there, but this is the second diff it's been on, because the first one blew up with the previous owner. So that's probably where this marring came from. Hopefully nothing on there is going haywire. But it looked good, so I'm going to go ahead and put on some gasket and assemble this diff. Alright guys, so we're about to do the transmission. So as you can see, right here, well actually right here, is the whole transmission. Sorry for the angle, but it's pretty tight under here. So right there is the transmission drain hole, and over on this side is the fill hole right above that sticker. So as you can see, it's pretty straightforward. You open the drain hole, you let it drain, and then you have to get a little pump, which I'll show you in a bit, and fill it up. Now the reason I'm doing a tranny fluid change is on my last Mustang, which had the Tr6060 in it. I went ahead and did it around 50,000 miles because it sounded pretty clunky, and I could hear a lot of the stuff going inside the transmission. This car is at 43,000 miles, and I know it's been beat on pretty hard, so I don't think it will hurt. I also have no idea if it's ever been done before. So, and it doesn't feel bad, but it definitely, I feel like it could be used a little bit smoothing up. So that's why I'm going ahead and doing the tranny fluid right now. So without further ado, let's get into it. So these fill holes are all 1/8 inch drive. Pretty much you just get something you want and then stick it in there and start cranking away. So I'm going to go ahead and loosen this bad boy up. I'm not using that swivel head, it just happens to be on there. And then hopefully it won't spurt out all over everything over here. I'll loosen it pretty slowly and let it drain that way. I think is probably the best bet. Alright, so it's draining out right now. As you can see, it's actually in pretty good shape, pretty clear, still red, so that's good. Now, I'm going to go ahead and open up this fill hole up in here and let some air out so it drains a little faster. Went ahead and replaced the fill bolt. As you can see, it actually looks really sweet down here. Check that out. Got our long tubes. Looks like we got a wideband sensor right there, and I'm probably plugged into the secondary O2, but right now obviously the secondary O2. Check out these baby cats. Like, they're so small, but that's what it is. And then what else do we have? So I went ahead and unplugged the fill drain hole. It's back in there, and then I'm going to go ahead and get the fluid out as well as some of the pump, and start refilling her up. But yeah, it looks really clean down here. The only thing that's weird is, check this out. So you have this giant exhaust, right? And then it gets cut down to, I'm pretty sure it's a 3-inch, and it gets cut down to its factory 2.5-inch, which is kind of weird. So I think something I might do in the future is, because it cuts down once there and then once again there. So I think in the future it might be worthwhile to get go ahead and do a 3-inch all the way back. Probably pick up a little power. Yeah, it's just something that's interesting. So something else I've been noticing is that there's been a slight tick on this side of the car. I thought it was maybe an exhaust leak, or I thought maybe a lifter, something was weird. But there's definitely some escapage right here, and check this out. That's like legitimately loose. It should definitely not be loose at all. So I think it's just from getting heat cycle that loosened itself up. I'm gonna go ahead and tighten this bad boy up, and that should alleviate our tick issue, because there's a little bit of exhaust leak right here. This other side's pretty loose too. Holy crap, look at that. That should not be like that at all. What the heck? Dang, that's crazy. Alright guys, back inside. Here's what we're using. We're using ATF, automatic transmission fluid. That's what it calls for. And then AMSOIL actually exceeds the original manufacturer what they wanted. So we're gonna go ahead and use this stuff. Should be good to go. And then let me go ahead and find that pump real quick. And this right here is that pump I was talking about. So pretty much stick it in your bottle. This then goes to the transmission, and then you go ahead and pump it up. It's good to go. As you can see, just like that, you gotta plug it up there, and just gotta pump her all in. She'll be done. in. So on my first quart, got about 3.5, 4 to go or so. Pretty much fill it up until a little bit of dribble comes out of the fill hole, and then you're done. Alright guys, so as you can see, put the wheels back on and everything, and pretty much everything's buttoned up in the rear end. As you can see, I just have to refill the rear diff with fluid, and I can't do that until after 24 hours when this stuff says I can put fluid in there. So that's how it is. This is her though. That's the intake temps right there, 39 past the intercooler. It's pretty chilly and it just turned on, so it should be warming up pretty soon. But yeah, it's cold out, guys. Guys, is that a cold start? Holy cow, never heard it start like that before. But hey, check it out. Went ahead and topped off our coolants, both of them. Too a little low over here. Topped off supercharger coolant, topped off power steering, brake fluid just to make sure it was good. And so far so good, guys. So check that thing out. VMP supercharged right there, Gen 2. Just you guys are tracking, it's a brisk. It's about 27 degrees out or so right now, so it's cold and she's definitely tuned for power. Alright guys, so it's been about a week since I filmed this video, and I just wanted to test out the fluids and make sure that everything was working well. So a quick little rundown on AMSOIL. What was in here before was Mobil 1 full synthetic automatic transmission fluid. I don't know what kind of rear diff fluid they had in there, but the AMSOIL really didn't change anything. I know the fluid looked pretty good when it was coming out, so I didn't really notice any difference. Drives well, and now at least I know that it's good to go. And the transmission, I mean, it's maybe a hair smoother-ish, but again, it was still good fluid when it came out that I was seeing, so if it was a dramatic change, I probably would have been worried about the interval change prior. But it shifts well. I've not had any issues. It's still pretty notchy like it was before. It's probably more in the shifter than anything else. And no gear grinds or anything like that as it was before. No real issues. But I love driving it, and it is what it is. I would definitely love to take this thing for a rip right now, but my intercooler pump, which is going to be the next video, is starting to go out on me pretty intermittent. So I've been watching my intake air temps get up pretty high, so I'm not going to be driving this thing hard until I get that replaced. It just came in the mail today, actually. So I'm going to do that this weekend, and that'll be the next video that you guys see. Anyway, thanks for watching. If you like what you see, subscribe. Other than that, have a great day.